All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call Halalyum Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so what I want to do in this lesson is go back into this book, man. All right, I've done many lessons, all right, many videos going into this book, all right, The Devastation of the Indies, all right, by Bartolome de las Casas, which is an eyewitness account of Bartolome de las Casas, all right, talking about all the very great atrocities, all right, the very great cruelty, all right, the very great massacre and slaughter and vileness, all right, that the Spaniards, all right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, done to the Israelites when they met with them in the Indies, man. All right, the Indians in the Indies were Israelites, man. All right, the island of Puerto Rico, the island of Cuba, the island of Jamaica, Nicaragua, all right, Hispaniola, all right. Those are all Israelites. And when Esau Edom came over here, all right, the Spaniards, the so-called white man, all right, he enslaved them, he conquered them, enslaved them, and massacred them, slaughtered them to oblivion, man. All right, and this book goes into it, man. All right, now, like I said, I've done many lessons on this, man. Go down my timeline, all right, on my YouTube channel, and you're going to see all these videos, man. All right, with this thumbnail. All right, with this exact thumbnail you see right here. All right, the thumbnail of this the cover of this book, man. But let's go. I think it's page 66. Let's get into page 66 this time. All right, which talks about New Spain. All right. All right, New Spain. Now, New Spain is basically, the Spaniards coming over here to the Indies in the Americas. All right. And making and settling in these lands, all right, which is known as New Spain. As you see, I got it right here, all right, for y'all, all right. New Spain was the name given to a large viceroyalty of the Spanish Empire in the Americas. So when they came and conquered, all right, the Indies, the Americas, all right, it was known as New Spain. When Esau Edom, all right, the Spaniards, the so-called white men, all right, that's why over here in South America and Central, all right, y'all speak Spanish, man, because y'all was conquered, enslaved, and slaughtered by Esau Edom, the white man, the Spaniards, all right, and we learned their language, all right, their heritage was put on us, man, all right, and we lost our heritage, man, all right, they gave us their language, all right. It says New Spain, all right, was the name given to a large viceroyalty of the new Spanish Empire in the Americas, established after the fall of the Aztec Empire in 1521. It encompasses a vast territory that included present-day Mexico, all right, much of the southwestern United States, Central America, and part of the Caribbean, all right. The capital of New Spain, all right, was Mexico City, all right, built on the ruins of the Aztec capital, all right. I don't know how to pronounce this word. All right, Tenochtitlan, all right? I probably butchered that, all right? Anyway, let's go. Let's get it, man. Let's go into this book, all right? So now you know what New Spain is, man, all right? Present-day Mexico, all right? Southwestern United States, all right? Central America and parts of the Caribbean, all right? Because you had also other islands like we've been reading in other parts of this book when you go to my videos, man. All right, my other videos on this book. All right. So it says New Spain. Let's zoom in. All right, so we can read about the wickedness of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, it says in the year 1507 all right, in the year 1507, all right, which is 1507, all right, New Spain was discovered, all right, and during the discovery, great outrages were perpetrated against the Indians. These Indians were Israelites, man, all right, and some of the discoverers were slain, all right, in the year 1518, Spaniards who called themselves Christians went there to massacre and kill. All right. Although, all right, and what do the scriptures say? All right, matter of fact, let's get it. That's all Esau Edom knows is the sword, man. All right, Revelation 6. All right, it says, let's read that again. It says, Spaniards who called themselves Christians went there to massacre and kill. All right, in Esau Edom, when you read Revelation 6 and 4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red. All right, that red horse is talking about Esau, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. You see? All right, that's all Esau Edom knows is kill, the sword. All right, and there was given unto him a great sword. All right, which which is destruction, which represents destruction. All right, he rules with a destroying and a destructive hand. Esau Edom. That's why you got World War I, World War II. That's why the world is the way it is right now, because Esau was ruling, and that was his blessing, the sword. All right, and there was given unto him a great sword. So that's all Esau Edom knows. And when you go to the pale horse also represents Esau. All right, Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. All right, what does it say right here? All right, that Spaniards who call themselves Christians went there to massacre and kill. All right, it says, and hell followed with him. Yeah, that's all Esau Edom knows. He brings hell upon the people with this earth, man. All right, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword. All right, and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the fields. And you read all about that in this book, man. All right, excuse me. Let's go back to this book. It says, Spaniards who called themselves Christians went there to massacre and kill. Although, all right, they said their aim was to settle Christians in the province. All right, it says, and from that year to this day, the climax of injustice and violence and tyranny committed against the Indians, which were Israelites, all right, has been reached and surpassed. All right, like the scriptures say, they furthered the affliction. They just kept overdoing it, man. All right, the Lord was a little displeased with us. All right, that he put us in Esau Edom's hand. All right, but Esau Edom, they just kept doing it, and they overdid it, man. They furthered the affliction. Matter of fact, I got it right here actually. All right, it says Zechariah 1 and 15, I am sore displeased with the heathen. Yeah, the Lord is angry with the other nations. Why? All right, let's keep reading. It says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased. Yeah, the Lord was angry at us, right? That, he put us into the hand of the other nations, that we were brought down, right? But what Esau Edom did, they just kept doing it. He just kept slaughtering us till this day, till the time I'm speaking now, bro. All right? All they had done throughout the course of history is slaughter, rape, rob, and murder the Israelites, man. All right, all the heathen. First and foremost, Esau Edom, man. All right, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was a little displeased. Yeah, the Lord was a little bit angry at us. All right, and they helped forward the affliction. Yeah, Esau Edom just kept putting on that affliction, man. They ain't stopped. All right, because all Esau Edom knows is how to destroy, man. That was his blessing, man. All right. So it says, let's keep reading. It says, The climax of injustice and violence and tyranny committed against the Indians has been reached and surpassed, because the Spaniards, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the Spaniards have now lost all fear of God and of the king. The scriptures say that the Most High, all right, is not at all in his thoughts. The Most High being Yahweh, all right. Yahweh is not at all in Esau Edom's thoughts. All right, because the Spaniards have now lost all fear. They never had any fear of the Most High. Matter of fact, let's get that scripture. All right. Then what was that? Not at all in. Let's get that. Let's see if the brick comes up like that. I know it's in Psalms though. Let's see if it comes up like this. I know it's in Psalms. Let me get it like this. Hold on. I know it's in Psalms. Psalms 10. Alright, yeah. Alright, let's get it. Alright, the wicked, alright, which the wicked is talking about Esau, Edom. They're the wicked race that the Lord created. Alright, the wicked, which is Esau, alright, through his pride, alright, Esau, Edom is the most prideful man on this earth, the so-called white man. Alright, the wicked through his pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. Yeah. All right, that's why most so-called white people are atheists, man. All right. All right. The Most High is not at all in their thoughts. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is not at all in the thoughts of Esau Edom, man. All right, this damn devil, the so-called white man. All right, that's why it says right here, because the Spaniards have lost all fear of God. All right, the Most High Yahweh and of the King. They have ceased to know right from wrong. All right. The scriptures say, what hast thou done to declare thy statutes? All right. That's also in, what's that, Psalms 50. All right. All right. Yeah, I think that's Psalms 50 or 51. Yeah. Psalms 50 and 16. All right. But unto the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Yeah. All right. What has Esau, Edom done to declare the Lord's statutes, man? Nothing, man. All right, even though the statutes wasn't given to them, all right, they don't know right from wrong. Like it says right here, they have ceased to know right from wrong. All right, what has thou done to declare thy statutes, man? This is talking about Esau, Edom, man. You see? All right, it says, because among so many and such different nations they have committed and continue to commit so many acts of cruelty, such terrible ravages, massacres, destruction, exterminations, thefts, violences, and tyrannies of all kind, that all the things we have related are as nothing by comparison. Bro, come on, man. You see, this goes into it deeply, bro. The great slaughter in hell, the hatred that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, has upon you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans. The true Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. God's chosen people. This is why Edom hates us so much. The so-called white man hates us so much, because we're God's chosen people. All right, and he's the devil. He wants his birthright back, but he can't have it. That's why he pretends to walk around and be us. He thinks he could trick the Most High into thinking that he's Jacob. All right. It says, but were we to describe all the infinite number of such acts, they would be as nothing when compared to what they have done this day, all right, and year of 1542. Woo, all right. But we were to describe all the infinite number of such acts, they would be as nothing when compared to what they have done this day and year of 1542. All right. It goes into it, all right. And today in this month of September are doing. For they continue to commit acts of the most abominable kind. All right, of the most abominable kind. Esau Edom is that that treacherous devil, man. All right. If this doesn't expose the vileness of Esau Edom, bro, then I don't know, bro. All right. It says, as we have said, all right, above, the rule is always this. From the beginning, the Spaniards have always continually increased and expanded their infernal acts and outrages. And I think I might actually done a lesson on this chapter. Maybe I read this and didn't do a video on it, but I believe I read this before. All right, but if, hey man, it's the spirit, bro. I'm already doing the video, so all right. So it says as we have said above, the rule is always this. From the beginning, the Spaniards have always continually increased and expanded their infernal acts and outrages, all right? Thus, from the beginning of their discovery of New Spain, that is to say, from the 18th of April in the year 1518, all right, until the year 30, all right, a period of 12 whole years, there were continual massacres and outrages, all right, committed by the bloody hands and swords of the Spaniards against the Indians, all right, Esau Edom, the so-called white men, against the Israelites, man, all right, living on the 450 leagues of land surrounding the city of Mexico. All right. See, and Esau Edom, a so-called white man, always hated you Mexicans, you Issacharites, man. You Mexicans, you so-called Mexicans, are of the tribe of Issachar, of the nation of Israel, man. Esau, and look what's happening today with the ICE and the ICE raids. Yo, Esau Edom always hated you Issacharites, man. Always slaughtered and came against you Issacharites, man. All the Israelites, man. All right. For Israel and the Judah were oppressed together. That's in Jeremiah, man. All right. It says, which comprised 4 and 5 great kingdoms as large as and more fallacious, all right, than Spain, all right. Those lands were all more densely populated than Toledo or Seville and Valladolid and Zaragoza all combined, all right, along with Barcelona. Never has there been such a population as in these cities, which the Most High saw fit to place in that vast expanse of land, having a circumference of more than 1,000 leagues. The Spaniards have killed more Indians here in 12 years by the sword, by fire, and enslavement than anywhere else in the Indies. So Esau Edom always hated you, bro. Esau Edom, bro, going back here, bro. See, the scriptures say, all right, Romans 13:11, for now it is high time to awake about of sleep, for our salvation is nearer than we believe, man. All right, you gotta, you Issacharites, you so-called Mexicans, you gotta be dumb as hell, man, to ever believe that the so-called white man loved. That goes to show y'all done forgot about y'all history, bro. The scriptures say, remember the days of old. All right. The scriptures also say, matter of fact, let's get it, bro. All right, let's get it. Remember right? All right. It says, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Yeah. And y'all forgot the years of many generations. All right. Ask thy father, he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. Ooh, it's a fire scripture, dog. Come on, man. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Yeah. All right. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. Woo! Call Haloyim Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. It's a fire script. All right. There's also another script that came to mind too. All right. Oh, man, I forgot. It left my. Maybe I'll remember it. All right. If it be the Lord's will. All right. It says. It says they have killed young and old men, women and children. All right. Some 4 million souls. Some 4 million souls during what they call the conquest. All right, the conquest. All right, which were the violent invasions of cruel tyrants that should be condemned not only by the law of God, but by all the laws of man. It says, since they were much worse than the deeds committed by the Turks in their efforts to destroy the Christian church. All right, it says, and this does not take into account those Indians who have died from ill treatment or were killed under tyrannical servitude. All right, we'll read a little more. All right, because this is kind of a big chapter. All right, I guess I'll read to the end of this page. All right. It says, in particulars, no tongue was suffice, all right, nor word nor human efforts to narrate the frightful deeds committed simultaneously by the Spaniards in regions far distant from each other, those notorious Hellions, enemies of humankind. It goes to show you how much of a show you how much of a devil Esau Edom is, the so-called white man. Esau Edom has such great things to pay for, bro. He has so much to pay for on a level that you can't even fathom, bro. See, in the kingdom, we're gonna know all things. We're gonna know every crack and crevice of history that you know that we don't know about, because history is so vast, bro. Very great hell is going to be brought upon the Edomites when Yahweh Shai returns, man, and makes us kings and gods and rulers of this planet Earth once again, man. The Lord said, return unto them double, and do double according to their works. So he did all this to us. So imagine what we're going to do to them. Double. Twice fold. You see? It says, the scriptures, all throughout the scriptures, we're matter of fact, what's that? Let me see. All right, because the Lord is going to use us to put very great hell on Esau Edom. All right, matter of fact, it says, Jeremiah 51 and 20, it says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. All right, and that's starting with the elect, man. All right, we are the Lord's battle axe and weapons of war, man. All right, that's why Esau Edom is in great distraught, man, because he sees us out here on the highways and hedges with the sword. All right, the spiritual sword, which is the word of the Lord, man. That's why he's in great fear. All right, because now he knows he has nothing but a short time. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee, all right, will I break in pieces the nations. So the Lord is going to use us, the Israelites, all right, to rule over these nations with a rod of iron. The Lord said, with thee will I break in pieces the nations. Whoo! All right, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Whoo! And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. All right, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. All right, with thee will I break in pieces man and woman of the other nations. All right, we gonna slaughter these other nations, bro. With thee will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, because that's what they did to us. All right, and with thee will I break in pieces young man and the maid. All right. So this scripture, right? These scriptures that I just read, this prophecy that I just read, is about to come upon Esau, Edom, man. All right. It says, what was I at? It says, and some of their deeds committed in the Indies, all right, in their quality, all right, and circumstances, truly they could not, all right, even with much time and diligence in writing, could not be explained. All right, I will narrate along with protests and sworn statements by eyewitnesses only some portions of the story, for I could not hope to explain a thousandth part. Wow. All right, it says, among other massacres, there was the one in a big city of more than 30,000 inhabitants, which is called Kolula. All right, and that's why you got the you got the hot sauce Kolula. All right, it says the people came out to welcome all the lords of the country and the earth. All right, first of all came the priests with the head priests of the Christians in procession, and received them with a great respect and reverence, and took them to a lodge in the center of the town, where they would reside in the houses of the most important nobles. Soon after this, the Spaniards agreed to carry out a massacre, or as they called it, a punitive attack, in order to sow terror and apprehension. All right, to sow terror, all right, in apprehension, and to make a display of their power in every corner of that land. This was always the determination of the Spaniards, all right, in all the lands they conquered. Yeah, that's Esau Edom with his blessing, man. This was always the determination of the Spaniards in all the lands they conquered, to commit a great massacre that would terrorize the tame flock and make it tremble. Bro, come on, man. Bro, and you Negroes, you coon Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, that want to love this damn devil, y'all don't know too much history, man. Y'all just, the Most High has a great veil on y'all, man. All right. All right. It says, with this aim, therefore, they sent a summons to all the caciques, all right, and nobles, all right, of the city, and in the localities subject to it, and also their head chieftain, all right. And as they arrived to speak with the Spanish captain, all right, they were taken prisoner, all right, so unexpectedly that none could flee and warn the others, all right. It says the Spaniards, all right, you gotta remember the Spaniards are Edomites, Caucasian men, the damn devil, all right. The Spaniards had asked for 5,000 or 6,000 Indians to carry their cargo, all right. When all the chiefs had come, they and the burden bearers were headed into the patios of the houses. What a grievous thing it was to see those Indians as they prepared to carry the loads of the Spaniards. It was a grievous sight, for they came naked, stark naked, except for their private parts, all right, which were covered, all right, and they had a netting bag slung over their shoulders, holding their meager nourishment, All right. They were all made to squat down on their haunches like tame sheep. All right. When they were all placed close together, they were bound and tied. All right. At the closed doorways, armed guards took turns to see that none escaped. Then, at a command, all the Spaniards drew their swords or pikes, and while their chiefs looked on helpless, all right, all those tame sheep were butchered, cut to pieces. All right, and that's why the Lord said they cut us into pieces, so they got to get cut into pieces. All right, let's read it again. Jeremiah 51 and 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. This is the Lord talking to Israel. All right, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations. Yeah. All right, because the Lord is getting ready to take us out of this hellhole that we're living in, man. We're getting ready to live on high. All right, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Ratazah, I am of the elect, man. I get this honor, man. I get put in a new body ASAP, bro. My back and my neck hurt, dog. For real. You know? Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, man. All right? And with thee will I destroy kingdoms, and with thee will I break in pieces horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces chariot and his rider. All right, with thee will I break in pieces man and woman. They broke us into pieces, so now we're going to break their men and their women into pieces. All right, with thee, the Lord said He's going to use us. All right, with thee, because it's the Lord that's doing all of this, bro. It's the Lord that's using us and doing this. The Lord said, with thee, the Lord is going to use us. All right. With thee also will I, this is the Lord. He said, the Lord, with thee also will I break in pieces men and women. And with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. Come on, bro. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. All right, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. All right, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil. All right, which is America. All right, and I will render unto Babylon and all the inhabitants of the Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion to the Israelites in your sight, saith Yahweh. All right, Yahweh. All right, saith Yahweh. All right, come on, bro. All right, it says, at the end of 2 or 3 days, some survivors came out from under the corpses. Wow. At the end of 2 or 3 days, some survivors came out from under the corpses. All right, wounded but still alive. And they went weeping to the Spaniards, imploring mercy, which was denied. Bro, eat, bro. Bro. All right, bro, hold on. Oh, my God, bro. All right. The Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called white man denied us mercy. So guess what's going to happen to him? He's going to be denied mercy. The Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, has denied him mercy. Okay? When you go into the Bible dictionary, under the definition of Edom, it tells you that Esau, all right, that Edom, all right, the neighbor to the Israelites, will be the only neighbor that the Lord will not have mercy on, because they're going to be eradicated off the face of this earth. First, they're going to go into slavery, all right, and then after slavery, they're all going to be brought, all right, all going to be brought together, every Edomite, and we're going to kindle in them. We're all going to burn them on fire. And there's never going to be an Edomite on this earth ever again, for the Lord has spoken it. Thus saith Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right, that's in the book of Obadiah. All right, the Spaniards had no compassion, but drove them back and cut them down. You see, the Spaniards, all right, had the chiefs, a total of more than 100 who were already shackled, burned at the stake that had been driven into the ground. Come on, bro. All right, let's read a little more. It says, but one of the caciques, all right, and who knows, he may have been the ruler of that land, managed to escape with 20 or 30 of his followers. They took refuge in the great temple that was there, which was like a fortress and was called Ku. All right, and there he defended himself for the greater part of the day. But the Spaniards, against whom there is no protection, especially no protection for these unarmed people, set fire to the temple and burned them there, as they cried out, "Oh wicked man." Bro, you can't make this up, bro. Come on. Oh wicked man. Oh wicked man. Is not Esau, Edom, known as the wicked? Oh wicked man, what have we done against you? Why are you killing us? Go to the city of Mexico, where our Lord and Master, all right, Montezuma, will revenge us. All right, come on, bro. All right, it is said that when the Spaniards were putting the 5,000 or 6,000 Indians in the patios to the sword, one captain sang out, Nero of Tarpeia watched Rome burn, all right, and the cries of the young and old did not move him. All right, they carried out another great massacre in the city of Topeka, all right, called that dude Nero. All right. All right, well, that's crazy. All right, they carried out a great massacre in the city of Topeka. All right, which was much larger and more densely populated than Kalula. All right, many perished, too many to count. All right, great acts of particularly cruelty were committed. All right, from Kalula they marched toward the city of Mexico, and the great Montezuma sent them thousands of presents, and an assembly of chiefs and people celebrated fiestas on the road. And the Spaniards, all right, and as the Spaniards reached the pavement of the city at a distance of 2 leagues, the great ruler sent them his own brother, accompanied by many nobles, bearing gifts of silver and gold and rich garments. At the entrance of the city, he himself greeted them and accompanied them to the palace in which he had arranged for them to be lodged. And that very day, as I was told by some of those who were there, the Spaniards deceitfully set a guard of 80 men to capture the great King Montezuma and put him in chains. Come on, bro. All right, I'll leave it right there. All right, I'll leave it right there. I'll continue this. If it be the Lord's will, I'll continue this. All right, I kind of want to keep reading, but I'll leave it right there. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazad, this lesson was edifying. All right, call Halalyum Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. All right, so on to the next one. Shalom, shalom.